So here is the thing. I was looking at my bank account the other day, which is usually a terrifying experience. It is sort of like opening a door in a horror movie. You know nothing good is on the other side, but you just have to look anyway. And honestly, it reminded me of why most of us are completely terrible with money. We treat our paychecks like they're these magical, renewing resources that will never run out, right up until about 3 days before the next one hits, and we are eating unbuttered toast over the sink. I have been there. I once checked my balance and the ATM literally laughed at me. Okay, it didn't laugh, but it made a beeping noise that sounded incredibly judgmental. But then I started looking into how the actual wealthy people manage their money. And no, I don't mean the people who rent Ferraris for Instagram photos to sell you a crypto course. I mean the actual quiet millionaires, the ones who wear generic gray t-shirts and drive 10-year-old Toyotas. And I stumbled across this concept that I'm going to call the 1% money rule.
Now, I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, great, another finance video telling me to stop buying coffee. Look, if I tell you that skipping a vanilla latte is going to make you a millionaire, you have my permission to unsubscribe immediately. That is not what this is. This is about a fundamental psychological shift in how you handle the cash that hits your account. Let's be real for a second. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is, I will save money when I make more money. I have said it, you have said it, we have all lied to ourselves. It is the financial equivalent of saying, I will start my diet on Monday. But here's the problem with that logic. It ignores a little thing called Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Well, in finance, expenses expand to equal income. If you make 50 grand a year, you figure out how to spend 50 grand. If you get a raise to 80 grand, suddenly, miraculously, you need 80 grand to survive.
You get a nicer car. You move to a slightly better apartment with exposed brick. You start buying the organic peanut butter that separates at the top. It happens instantly. So the 1% rule is the antidote to that. It is the only way to break the cycle of lifestyle creep without making your life miserable. So what is it? The 1% rule is surprisingly stupidly simple, which is why it actually works. Most financial advice fails because it requires you to be a robot. It asks you to suddenly cut your spending by 50% and live in a yurt. You are not going to do that. I am not going to do that. I like air conditioning and Wi-Fi too much. The 1% rule operates on the idea of micro adjustments. Here is how it works in practice. You take your current savings rate, which, let's be honest, for most people is 0, and you increase it by exactly 1% of your income. That is it, just 1%. If you make $4,000 a month, that's $40. That's a couple of pizzas. You won't notice $40 missing from your life. You really won't.
If you lost a $40 bill on the street, you'd be annoyed for about 10 minutes, and then you'd go home and watch Netflix. It wouldn't change your lifestyle. You wouldn't starve. But here is the trick. You do this 1% increase every single month, or every time you get a paycheck, depending on how aggressive you want to be. Month 1, you save 1%. Month 2, you save 2%. By the end of the year, you are saving 12% of your income. And because you boiled the frog slowly, you didn't even feel the heat. You adjusted your spending habits incrementally. You stopped buying the organic peanut butter one month. You canceled the streaming service you haven't watched since 2019 the next month. You didn't feel the pinch because it was gradual. This is how millionaires operate. They don't rely on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. It runs out, usually around 8 p.m. when you order takeout. Systems, on the other hand, don't run out. The 1% rule is a system.
Now, I want to talk about the millionaire mindset for a second, but not in the way that sounds like a motivational poster in a dentist's office. The difference between the broke mindset and the millionaire mindset is how they view the purpose of money.
When I was broke, I viewed money as a permission slip. I have money, therefore I am allowed to buy this thing. Oh, I have $500 in checking? That means I can buy this $500 TV. The transaction is complete. The millionaire mindset views money as an employee. If I have $500 and I send it away to Best Buy, that money is fired. It is gone. It can never work for me again. But if I keep it, it can go out and recruit more little dollar bill soldiers. I know, it sounds cheesy, but compound interest is literally the only free lunch in the universe. Let's talk about the specific mechanics of where this 1% goes, because sticking it under your mattress is not the move. Inflation is real.
If you leave your cash in a standard checking account earning 0.01% interest, you are actually losing money every single day. You are effectively paying the bank to hold your money while it rots. That is insane. You need a high-yield savings account at a minimum. But really, the 1% rule is about investing, and this is where people get scared. They think they need to be looking at charts with 6 monitors like they're in the Matrix. You don't. You really don't. The best investors are the laziest people on earth. They buy low-cost index funds and then they go take a nap. That is literally the strategy. Here is another aspect of the 1% rule that nobody talks about. The 1% spending pause. This is a safety valve for your impulses. We live in an economy designed to separate you from your cash as fast as humanly possible. One-click ordering? That is not a feature for your convenience. That is a weapon against your wallet.
The 1% spending pause says that if you want to buy something discretionary, a watch, a new phone, those weird shoes you saw on TikTok, you have to wait 24 hours for every 1% of your annual income that item costs. So let's do some math. I know, I'm sorry, but stay with me. If you make $50,000 a year, 1% is $500. If you want to buy a new gaming console that costs $500, you have to wait 24 hours. If you want to buy a used car for $5,000, that is 10% of your income. You have to wait 10 days. What happens during that wait? The dopamine wears off. The marketing fog clears. And usually you realize you don't actually want the thing. You were just bored or sad or hungry. I want to circle back to the paycheck like a millionaire part of the title. Do you know what actual millionaires do when they get paid? Nothing, because it is automated. If you are manually transferring money to your savings account, you are failing. You are giving yourself a chance to sabotage the process. You are giving yourself a chance to say, well, I earned this. I had a hard week. I deserve a treat. No.
You deserve financial freedom, not a treat. Treats are for dogs. Financial freedom is for adults. You need to set up your account so that the money disappears before you even see it. It hits your checking and boom, automatic transfer to investments. Boom, automatic transfer to bills. The money that is left over, that is your guilt-free spending money. If you want to blow that on artisanal cupcakes, go for it, because you have already paid your future self first. There is a massive difference between looking rich and being rich. We have all seen the guy at the stoplight in the BMW who looks like he is winning at life, but you don't see his bank statement. You don't see that he is drowning in payments, that he is one missed paycheck away from total collapse. That is looking rich. Being rich is boring. Being rich is having a paid-off house and a fat investment portfolio and driving a Honda Civic. And I know the Honda Civic isn't sexy. You can't flex a Honda Civic. But you know what is sexy? Sleeping 8 hours a night because you aren't worried about how you're going to pay the electric bill? That is the ultimate flex.
So, here is the challenge I am throwing out to you. Try the 1% rule for just 3 months. Just start there. Month 1, automate 1% of your income into an investment account. Month 2, bump it to 2%. Month 3, 3%. If you're feeling spicy, go for 5%. I promise you, you won't miss the money. It is just math. If you learn to live on 90% of your income, you will eventually become wealthy. If you live on 110% of your income, you will eventually go broke. It is binary. There is no middle ground. And look, I get it. It is not fun to budget. It is not fun to say no to things. But do you know what is really not fun? Being 65 years old and having to work as a greeter at a superstore because you spent all your retirement money on DoorDash in your 20s. That is the ghost of Christmas future you want to avoid. And I have to say this because I see it in the comments all the time. People say, oh, investing is rigged. The system is against us. Yeah, maybe. The system isn't perfect, but keeping your money in cash is a guaranteed loss.
Opting out of the game doesn't mean you win. It means you forfeit. The wealthy play the game. They understand the rules. They understand that tax efficiency, compound interest, and living below your means are the cheat codes. You don't need a rich dad. You don't need a winning lottery ticket. You just need to stop bleeding money on things that don't matter. Let's address the elephant in the room. Debt. If you have high-interest consumer debt, credit cards, personal loans, that stuff is an emergency. That is a fire in your kitchen. You don't invest while your kitchen is on fire. You put the fire out. If your credit card is charging you 20% interest and the stock market returns 8% on average, you are mathematically losing by investing. So applying the 1% rule to debt is even more powerful. You cut your spending by 1% and throw that extra cash at the debt. You attack it with a vengeance. Because that interest is the reverse of the wealth building we talked about. It is compound interest working against you. It is slavery.
You are working hours of your life to pay for a decision you made 3 years ago. Get angry at your debt. Treat it like a personal enemy. I want to leave you with this thought. Personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. We all know what to do. Spend less than you earn. It is not rocket science. It is not quantum physics. It is third-grade math. The hard part is the behavior. The hard part is managing the emotions that trigger the spending. The 1% rule is a behavioral hack. It bypasses the drama and just focuses on the math. It lowers the barrier to entry so low that you can't say no. Can you save $1 out of every 100? Yes, you can. Don't tell me you can't. If you can do that, you can build wealth. So go look at your bank account, face the horror, and then set up that automatic transfer. Just 1%. Start there. And then, in a year, come back and tell me how much your life has changed. You might not be driving a Lambo, but you will probably be sleeping a whole lot better. And hey, if you found this helpful, do the YouTube thing.
Like, subscribe, maybe share this with a friend who keeps complaining about being broke while holding a $7 coffee. We all know one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.